New tonight, nearly 3 months after a deadly shooting on Navy property in Wahiawa, the Army has identified the alleged gunman. Sergeant Corey Kelly is accused of killing Devaughn Pita last August. Pita's loved ones say the 23-year-old was trying to help his ex-girlfriend and their 4-year-old son escape an abusive relationship. Kelly, a 25-year-old soldier assigned to the 25th Infantry Division Sustainment Brigade at Schofield Barracks, is charged with 10 offenses, including 2 counts of murder, assault, domestic violence, and obstruction of justice. The U.S. Army Office of Special Trial Counsel is now deciding whether to refer the charges for a trial by court-martial.